Hello everyone. Assalamu alaikum. Just we'll wait for 2 minutes to give a chance for everyone to join us, and we'll start this session. So, good afternoon, everyone. We'll start our session for today. By now, actually, we give some time for your colleague to join us. And this sessions, actually, we want to talk about the importance of using the latest technology to develop your prototype, where I can see that all of you are participating in UAE Hackathon to develop your solution and impactful solutions or innovation that it will help our community. Nowadays, it's very important actually to have a look about what is the latest technology and where you can see part of the criteria of evaluation in the hackathon. It is the technology that you use and the innovation. But to start talk about this, let us go about the background of innovation. We will discuss many topics where you can see here in the list where we mention the latest technology like the AI, IoT, big data, virtual reality, augmented reality, drone, robotics. So all of those, they are trending right now. And whenever you participate in any competition and you are using one of the trending technology, your opportunity actually to be awarded and to be selected among the winners, it will be higher. Innovation, it's a mixed term actually for many people. They are not understand what is the meaning of innovations, and in this session also we talk about the closed innovations and open innovation. Anybody can tell me about the history of innovations, or why do we need actually invention in our life? Anybody just can tell me why actually we are inventing inventions in our life for a very basic reason? So usually the invention, it will be actually to invent like inventing tools that to make our life easier. In the history of the innovations, actually the first inventions that is recorded right now using stone as a tools, because long back ago, actually human, they tried to cut let us say that cutting the meat, cutting, for example, fruit, or cut something from a tree, but it was difficult actually to do it by hand. So they are looking around them to find tools like what we call sharp stone, and they are using the sharp stone actually to cut. So as you can see, at this time, we know the inventions, but we don't know who invented that invention. So the evidence that is showing that they discovered it actually in Kenya in 1969, and the evidences show that it's like 2.6 million years ago, they start using stone as a tools. Then after that, what we call the evidence is showing that the they start actually to use controlled fire. And here, why what we mean by controlled fire? Because before fire in the nature, that it will burn everything. But to use a fire, for example, for cooking or as a source of heat or for lighting, this is what we call the controlled fire, and the evidence is showing that the controlled fire, it's discovered that it's going for 1.4 million years ago. Then they found that it's very difficult actually to live just without any kind of protection environment. So people they start to invent actually homes, and the evidence that is showing that is discovered in French, like in 1966, that they start to build home. Let us say for 100 years ago, and why they built the home? To protect them from, for example, cold, from heat, from animals, and so on. So till that time, we can see that we find the invention, we discover actually there is inventions, but we cannot relate it to someone. Nowadays, since we start actually the patent, then since that time, we know the inventions and who invent that. So as you can see in the history, that is showing that the printing press, it's invented in 1450. So here we know the inventors and we know who invented. Then light, which is Edison at the 1879. So again, we know the inventions and we know who invented. And that is very important, especially if you were gonna invent something. Nowadays, we want to protect our idea, and why we are protecting our idea actually to get business out of it. And this is actually what we are looking to it right now, especially for you as a youth, that we want you to be a startup, to come up with inventions and to convert this invention to a real business. In the automobile, there is inventions, the vaccinations, there is a lot of inventions, but as we mentioned, that at this time we are able actually to know who the inventor of that inventions. So the patents and IP is very important. And just we talk briefly about the main types, which is the patent, trademark, copyright, and trade secret. So the patent, which is the highest level of IP to protect your idea, and it must be something unique. Nobody at all did it before you. Trademark, which is usually for brand, for logo. This is a protection for the trademark. Copyright usually it will be for the book, for the movies. So you want to protect it from someone who will steal the same content. And nowadays we have the trade secret, and this is especially, for example, if you have equations for any kind of formula and you want to protect it. So at this case, we will use the trade secret. Type of inventions, as we mentioned, that we have closed inventions and open innovations. Closed innovation and open innovations. Some countries, they are moving toward that. They want to invent something that it will belong only for them. So they will have their own research and development lab, everything, it must be patented for them. They will not take something from out. Some companies, their core business is depend on, they are open for everyone. So if you invent anything, okay, they will accept it and they will take it to the next level. But nowadays, most of the company actually, they are working for both models. So this is actually is very important because it will help you while you are developing your solutions. And if you return back and you have a look on the criteria of the hackathon, you will find the innovations. It's I believe it's handle, I believe, around 20%. So now, when you are designing your innovative solutions, try to focus on the innovation. So actually, because it will handle 20%. The second part, where we will talk about the latest technology in this in today's program, we will talk about the latest technology and the most important, which is the fourth industrial revolutions. Anybody can tell me now how many industrial revolutions we have it in during the human history? Just if you can share with me in chat. Anybody from attendees? Can see Aisha, Sari, Shora. Any idea? Yes, excellent. Yes, excellent, Shora. Yes, it is the fourth industrial. Yes, we have the four industrial revolutions, and now we are in the fourth industrial revolutions, where I will share it with you now. So the fourth industrial revolutions, and as we can saw that many of the theme of the hackathon, they mentioned for you some technology, and they are advising you actually to use those technology, and those technology actually the part of the fourth industrial revolution. The first industrial revolutions, it's start at 1784, where the people, they start know how to use the power of the steam. So if you remember long back ago, the train, okay, where we saw it in many movies. So here people, they start to know how to use the power of the steam, and they use the power of the steam actually to run industry, and it had actually real impactful in the human history. Then the second industrial revolution, it was in 1870, where we used to start using a mass productions, where we start to learn how actually how to use the power of electricity in industry. So it has big impactful. Then the third one, where we start to make our industry more automated, where in this at that time we are using a computer actually to run our industry. Nowadays, we are in the fourth industrial revolution. So everything around us now, it's talking about the fourth industrial revolutions, and it's better actually to understand it, because if you are using one of the fourth industrial revolutions, that it will be added value to your projects. And for sure, we want to see all of you to become a real winners in at this hackathon. The growth of the technology nowadays become really fast. So between the technology and the next technology, there is no time. So we can see that just maybe next day, okay, one technology will be obsolete. But if we are looking here in the graph, especially in the in the 14 in 1400 that where we discover the printing press that one. It's then to the telescope, we can see that there is a 200 years. Then to steam engine, again like 150 years. But if we look now between the microscope and see DOS, Windows, cell phone, DVD, there is no time. So everything, okay, it's overlapping with the new technology. This is why we must use the technology as soon as possible. If you keep it, it will become obsolete, and we'll have the next technology that it will, for sure, it will replace the previous one. The most important thing that actually it will show that the difference between the linear as in the exponential growth, if we compare the supercomputer with the smartphone that every one of us actually are using right now, we will find the smartphone, it is 1 million times smaller than the supercomputer. Where the supercomputer before, it used to be like a building. Now, your smartphone, it is 100 million times smaller than the supercomputer. It will be 100 times cheaper than the supercomputer, and at the same time, your smartphone, it is 1,000 times powerful than the supercomputer. So that shows us that everything, it will become smaller, cheaper, and more powerful. And this is why actually we start to use the AI now. Anybody can tell me when the first documented AI research, or when do you think that the first research in the AI started? Any idea? Aisha and Sari. Only I received comment from Shora. Shohra. Any idea? We start actually to hear about the AI, let us say 3-4 years ago. We start to hear about the AI everywhere. But do you know when they start research about the AI? Excellent, yes. It is 50 years. They start the first research in 50. But at that time, it was difficult to use it in commercial. And it used to be, yes, it's 1956. But at that time, it used to be very difficult. It's required a supercomputer, which is a building. So at that time, or 60 or 70, how many supercomputer we had? Very difficult. It will be only for the research center. Nowadays, all of you are willing to use AI technology that is offered from all the big names company like IBM, Microsoft. All of them, they are offering for you AI services, and is really efficient to use it. So research usually it will start long back ago, but how to use it? This is the first research. It is in 1955. So at that time, they start to do a research, but it wasn't easy actually to use it in commercial application. The definition of the AI is divided actually to this is actually like the 8th definition of AI. So if we divide them, we'll find them that it's divided to two. The first two schools, actually, they define the AI, and they say that the AI, it will be look like human. And the second two, they say that it will be similar to human brain. So which one is the most right one? I think basically it's how the computer can learn. Yes. It's right. Yes, it's right. So for the definition, because now we are in the definition. In the definition, there is two schools. They are mentioning that they define it that the computer will think like human or will act like human. And the second two schools, they say that the system or the AI, it will think like human brain or it will act like human brain. So what do you think it is the most right definition? When we are saying artificial intelligence. Yes, mostly yes, like human brain, because for sure we want our system actually to work perfect. And usually when the human actually they are doing the right thing, they are using their brain. It will learn based on the human search. Yes, this is the most important. The theme of the hackathon, it's the event. If you remember the first hackathon, can you tell me the slogan or the theme of the hackathon since its start is based on? Anybody remember? Hackathon, the hackathon itself. It's based on, it's something for happiness. Before they using the slogan, they mentioned that they are using something for happiness, even for the UAE Hackathon. And in the criteria, if you read, yes, excellent. In the criteria, they mentioned that I believe there is a 15% of data. If you use a data set, where you will get a 15%. The first slogan of the hackathon, it used to be data for happiness. So we want this data, which is now offered from most of the organization. We want you to use it to train your AI software. Usually, the AI, and for example, for the human body, how you already reach to all this kind of skills and knowledge that you have it right now? Because you used to go for school, so you learn from book, you learn from your family, you learn from your teacher, you learn from your friends, you got some experience and you learn from that experience. But for the machine, which is a software, usually it will take a software. So how to let this machine actually to learn? We need the data. So this data, we give it to the machines. We divide, usually we'll have a kind of data set. We will train our machine on those data sets, and then we'll keep the second part of, or the second half of this data to test the machine. So my advice to all of you, if you want to really be winners, to look for the government data. Nowadays, all the government they have in their open data. Okay, so if you are willing to use this open data to train your system, you will get 15% on as you can saw that in the criteria of the evaluation. So please, all of you, try to find data set available. Use this data set to develop your software, and believe me, you will get a chance actually to be a winner. Yes, Shora, yes. Could you ask? Aisha, yeah. To be from UAE. Actually, I believe UAE Hackathon, every time they are sharing with you, there is a portal of data set. It's from the government. So usually by using the data, your chance actually to be a winner, it will be better. I believe there is a data set. It's opened by something it's called Dubai Pulse, which is Dubai data. Even I will share it with you, and I hope the team from the hackathon also to share it with you too. We have to create a system or any idea. It's better actually to have your prototype. This prototype, maybe it will be a software, or maybe it will be a hardware and a software. So if you are willing actually to develop something that it will has better what we call the chance to be a winner. And at the end of this session, let us just share with you the criteria of the hackathon, and we will discuss that in case if you have any questions, because the criteria is clear that 30% it will be in the impactful. Did you read the document? Did you read the document or the criteria of the evaluation? No, you must read the criteria of the evaluation. I hope, inshallah, at the end of this session, we'll share it with you, and we will discuss it. So for the AI, we define it. As you can see that we have a big data. But with AI, we must have a big data. And this is why actually in the UAE, whenever they talk about the AI, then direct in UAE, they start actually to create a new policy for big data. And they ask all the government entity actually to open their data for public. Why? Because we will have a startup like you. They will come up with an innovative idea where they will develop an AI system. That AI system is required actually data to learn. And as you can see that the AI, it will be depend on the machine learning, where the machine learning, it will be depend also on the machine learning from the data set. And also we have something which it's more advanced in the AI, and we call it deep learning. Again, once we start with the big data, we have new science like the data science and the data mining, because the future actually oil will be data. So everything now, it will become based on data. And we will show you, like, we don't want to go in details, just we want to show you, like, just the example where I will share it with you here for the deep learning. Nowadays, you can see that most of the software, like, let us say, Facebook, nowadays, when you post photo, direct, sometimes you will find that it will ask you to attach someone. So how Facebook actually knows the person in this photo, it's supposed to be, for example, let us say Ahmed, and he's living, let us say, in USA. How do you think whenever you post photo, Facebook or any one of the social media, they knows the identity of that person? Usually, whenever you are posting any, whenever you are posting any photo, there they are developing their data set. They will take this photo, they will analyze this photo, and they will add it to their data set with all kind of posture, with the light directions, and they will keep build a data set, okay, with all users. So whenever, for example, someone upload your photo, direct, they know the face, it will detect actually your identity when they upload it, and it will ask you to add it. There is one good example, which is a Google Lens. In the Google Lens, they have a kind of, because for the AI, actually, sometimes it will be depend on the vision, and it will depend on the audio, which is like voice recognitions. For the vision, that it will be related to everything that is related to the camera. So as you can see in the Google Lens, if you take photo for anything, it will analyze what is in that photo. So as you can see to the right, where we have a flower, you are taking photo for the flower. It will take the photo. It will send the photo actually to their server. In their server, it will analyze what is inside that photo in no time, and it will send, let us say, like we call it metadata, about the details of this photo. And in no time, it will display for you, for example, the type of this photo, from where you can get it, okay, and some descriptions and some details about it. Let us say in the second one, as you can see, that we already took a photo of salon. So once you take the photo, it will analyze the text. From that, it will get some informations, like as you can see, it's showing like some the rating for that salon. It's give also like some review from user. So this is the future. This is the future. So if you can develop such solutions, that it will be really useful. Even we have machine translate, where if you take a photo, and this is, believe now all of you can use it by the Google Translate. And instead, if you writing down what is, especially if unfamiliar language to you, just by take a photo by mobile phone, with AI tools, it will detect the text, and it will extract the text out of the photo. It will send the text translated. Once it's translated, they will put the translations over the pictures. So this is actually one of the highest level of the translation. So here we want you actually to use the latest technology to develop your solutions. I will share with you even some of AI solution that it will be offered from some big companies. As you can see here, Microsoft, IBM, all of them actually, they are offering for you AI solutions. So Microsoft Azure, as you can see, they are offering for you vision solutions, speech solutions, language solutions. So just you will use it from their website. As you can see, they are mentioning for you the pricing. So you will use the pricing according to your request. So it will be according to your request. For the vision, they have the image processing, smart identity, identify captions. For example, for the speech, convert spoken audio into text, and so on. So the best thing of using the AI from those big names, that you don't need to start from scratch to build your model, to learn it, okay, then to test it. Now you are able actually to start from where they end, and for sure, how to pay, it will be the pay according to your demand. If you didn't choose it, you will not pay something. So for the AI, one of the tools is the chatbot. Before we can see now we are moving for e-commerce. Everything is become online, digital marketing. COVID-19 now, it's encouraged everyone actually to use the online platform instead if we are going for malls. Okay, now we order everything from Amazon. But in this kind of experience, we will lose actually the human interactions, because usually when you go to the market, you'll ask the sales about the product. So now, instead of this, we'll have a chatbot where it will be well-trained. Chatbot, it will understand your question in any way you ask it. Before, when we used to design, let us say, any kind of system, it will be difficult to understand the question if it's not right, it's not wrote actually in a proper way. So now a chatbot, it's in a really advanced technology. Just you will give all your questions, and it will understand, and it will give the answer. So it's improve the user experience. So the most important, yes, we will go for the open data, because we told you that it is very important actually to the open data, where it's here. So once we start actually hear about AI, government, they start to force all the government entity to start sharing their open data for public. And actually there is one, yes, this one, actually I took this screenshot, I believe in 2018. So they are expecting, just by unlock the data and open it for everyone, that the profit will be $10.4 billion. And this data is not open between the government to government. No, it's open from the government to public. Why? Because maybe startup like you, they will come, they will find a challenge, they will take this data, they will do some analysis for this data, and they will find a business opportunity. And this business opportunity will give a help for the community. This is, for example, with the Dubai Pulse. They have, for example, information, as you can see, for the housing, transport and water, security and justice, business, and so you can access to those data. And as you can see, this is when I took it long back ago. Okay, you can see updated folder. So, and just you will download it. Just you will download it, and you will use it. So this is just very brief, and bear the request of you. Let me just look for hackathon criteria, and we'll share it with you, because we hope that inshallah all of you will be winner. Yes, it's here, I believe. So my advice to you, whenever you are developing something, try to use the latest technology to develop it, because your chance actually to be a winner, it will be slightly high. So we'll go direct to, yes, I believe this slide is important to discuss it with you. Share from here. Just let me know if you are ready to see the full screen. You can see the screen.
Yes, we can see the screen.
Okay, so as you can see, they are asking you to use Internet of Things, where the application of the Internet of Things is huge right now. Big data, which we talk about it, which is related to AI, artificial intelligence, blockchain, 3D printing, augmented reality, let us say also the virtual reality, and metaverse. So try to use the latest technology, because here your chance actually to get award, it will be higher. Yes, this is the very important. Whenever you design your project for any competition, try to look for the criteria. Okay, and for this criteria, you will try actually to look for the higher weight, and to at least to have a kind of contribution in each way. So for the UAE Hackathon, as you can see, the higher weight is go for impactful and the benefit of your project. So on this point, we have to think about the impactful of our project toward our community. And this, it will take a 30% of your evaluation. 20%, it will be about the technology, where we already today, we talk about with you with AI. We talk about with you about the big data. So if you are using the latest technology, your chance, or you will get more marks actually in this for the technology. And they show you the 4 type of technology, actually 8 types or 7 type actually here of the technology, plus other trending technology. So they don't want only to make it very close only for the listed technology. So anything new, you are able to use. Internet of Things, there is a huge application of the Internet of Things around us. That everything around us, it will be connected to the internet. So you will be able to control by Internet of Things. You will be able to monitor. So the application is wide. And why not, okay, not have in your application more than one technology? Let us say you build a circuit, and this circuit, it will use AI, but the case or the body of this technology will use it, a 3D printing 3D printer actually to build the case. So here you are using more than 2. The Internet of Things with AI also can working well, especially when you want to collect data. So the Internet of Things, where you can use it as a source actually to collect more data. Then 20%, it will be on the innovation and creativity. So you need to focus on the innovation of your project. Yes, maybe you know that there is innovation in your project, but you need to show, okay, and to highlight what is the innovation in your project. And you cannot say there is innovation in my project unless you do research. So you need to do a research in about the topic that you selected, and to add to what is available or existing system, you will add something innovative for that project. Then 15% for the quality and usability. And the last 15%, which is the data for happiness, as we mentioned too. One of you, when I asked her, she said that it's data. So as you can see here, it is just the data for happiness. So use the data set that is available. And I believe the team of the hackathon, they are willing actually to share it with you. So if you read this document, you will find it is recommended. So if you use the data, this will be 15%. So I hope it's very clear to all of you, and I hope that inshallah all of you will be winner. And if there is any point that is can be added from the hackathon team regarding the data set, because I can see that all the candidates here, they are asking about it. If there is any point to share it with them, that will be great. I believe we reach almost to the end of our session for today. So if you have any question, please ask me now. The data link in the hackathon website. So they say that the data link is it's showing the error. So we will refer to hackathon teams, and hopefully they will solve it and they will share it with all of you. So if you have any question, I'm more than happy actually to give you answer. Any question? So it seems there is no any question. Thank you very much, everyone. It's a really pleasure, and I'm very happy actually to be with you along with the presentation. Actually, all these details, regarding the competition, it will be provided to you by the hackathon team. So inshallah, I wish to see all of you, inshallah, in the final, and I wish that you will be, inshallah, one of winners. Thank you very much, everyone. Wassalamu alaikum wa rahmatullah.
Thank you, Doctor. Thank you for your time, appreciating your effort. Hopefully we see you again, inshallah.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Thank you. Assalamu alaikum.
Wa alaikum salam.